Hey, what's going on everyone? Entering Infinity here. Today I'm back with a brand new video to discuss episode 6 of Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War anime. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. This episode was absolutely insane. Like, the art, animation, the music, everything just like blown out of the water. This episode was another masterpiece in the books for the Bleach 1000-Year Blood War anime, just as we all hoped for. So the episode picks up where we left off, where Yamamoto had just reached where Yuhavak and Hashwalt were, where Kenpachi Zaraki seemingly just got taken out. So Yamamoto does a super crazy flash step without even Yuha even noticing what happened, and he goes and he takes Kenpachi Zaraki's body away from the battlefield so he doesn't get destroyed by what's about to come, because man, if he was any closer, he would have been absolutely incinerated. So I'm absolutely obsessed when Yamamoto activated his Bankai. I just want to say I've waited so many years to see this animated. It is like the top 5 moments of Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War arc that I wanted to see animated, so I was so hyped to actually see this finally brought to life in the anime. When he activates his Bankai, I love the way that like everything just went white and like all the clouds went away in the sky, and it was just like so cool, and everyone was like, what just happened? And it was because he like sucked all the moisture out of the air and like evaporated it from his heat, and like everyone in the entire Soul Society could feel what happened, and like Shunsui's lip like split and he was bleeding, and like the glass was cracking in his office where Nohana is, and like everybody could feel it and they knew what was going on. They're like, oh my god, he just went Bankai. I was saying the same thing. So first he goes ahead and activates the east version of his Bankai, where it consolidates all of his flames into the tip of his blade, so that anything the tip of his blade touches gets absolutely incinerated and like removed from the earth. And Yuha was trying to dodge it, and everything that he was touching was just getting completely blown away, like huge craters forming in the ground. It was nuts, and he ends up cutting his blade in half, so he took away his sword from him. And then he goes ahead and he activates the west version, where he envelops his entire body and his Zanpakuto in flames that are as hot as the sun. He said it was like 15 million degrees Celsius, which is insane. It was so hot that the ground that he was standing on was melting and he was sinking. And they said if it wasn't for their blue defense technique, that they would have been reduced to ash just by standing near it. It was absolutely crazy. Then Yamamoto goes in for an attack, and then Yuhavak uses this Quincy prison technique, but then he ends up stopping, and he goes ahead and uses his south, where he sticks his Zanpakuto into the ground, and all these zombies rise up, and it turns out that they are the zombies and skeletons of all of his enemies that he's killed over the years with Ryujin Jaka, which is like absolutely crazy. And to be even more savage, he specifically brings out the ones that are dead Quincy to go, because he recognizes them and just messes with his head. And then he breaks out, and then Yamamoto goes ahead and uses the north version, which they don't explain what it does, but it ends up just slicing him in half and killing him. And this fight, man, was absolutely incredible. Like, I can't even put into words how amazing it is. If you watch it, you already know. Absolutely incredible masterpiece. So then, while the dude's dead on the floor, he starts like talking, saying how he failed his master and in so many words, and Yamamoto's like, who are you talking about? Like, you're the head guy. Like, who are you disappointing? You know, there's no one above you. And then he realizes that something's not right, and he's like, wait a minute, who are you? And all of a sudden this huge blue pillar just explodes from the Squad 1 barracks, and Yuhavak enters the field, and it turns out that the one that he just fought was just a Sternritter that was an imposter. I think it was Sternritter Y, has the ability to like transform into somebody else. So now the real Yuhavak is on the field, and he just let us know that he just paid a little visit to a man named Sosuke Aizen, which is absolutely crazy. So as if this episode couldn't get any better, we also get Aizen in the mix, so we get to see a quick little exchange when Yuhavak went to go see Aizen, and Aizen already knew who he was and everything that's going on, and the dude is like wrapped up like a mummy and crucified into a wall underground, and he already knows more than like probably most people that are actually there, which is insane. But of course it's Aizen, he's the GOAT, so of course he knows what's going on. He's always 20 steps ahead of everyone else. So that part was fantastic. Then it cuts back to the battlefield, and you know, he's taunting Yamamoto, saying how he already used up his Bankai, but Yamamoto's like, nah dude, like I'm gonna use it again. And then he uses his Bankai, and as soon as he activates it, Yuhavak steals it with the Quincy pendant, and he said that they pretty much could have stolen it at any time. It was just nobody was powerful enough to handle Yamamoto's Bankai because he's so powerful, but Yuhavak is the only one that's strong enough to handle it. That's why he could just take it now. It wasn't for a lack of information. So he steals his Bankai. Yamamoto's like really flustered. They go in for another clash. So then Yuhavak summons his sword, which was like the coolest thing ever. This giant bow and arrow like appears in the sky, and it like shoots shoots it down like an arrow, and he takes it out of the ground. It was so incredible. The animation art was like, oh my gosh. And this part particularly with Yamamoto and Yu Havak, their art was like absolutely out of this world. It was like movie quality. And they go in for a final clash, then all of a sudden you see his blood squirting everywhere, and we see Yamamoto get like massive cut through him. So that's where the episode ends. So it's pretty crazy. You know, last week we had, you know, Byakuya take a major L, seemingly could be dead. Yamamoto just took a massive L. You know, he seemingly could be dead. So, you know, I already know what happens, but for all you anime onlys out there, what do you think? Do you think Byakuya's dead? Do you think Yamamoto's dead? One of them? Are they both alive? I'm curious what you guys think. For those who don't know, don't spoil it if you do know. But yeah, this episode was absolutely incredible. Like 1,000 out of 10. Just what I was expecting and just what we all needed. You know, if this anime wasn't already at another level, it just went up another few notches. Like absolutely incredible. So, and we're only 6 episodes in, and this is like what we're getting. So I can't wait for everything else that's to come. And I'm just so happy that all these years later, this moment that I was waiting for like was paid off, and it was just so good. So yeah, if you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode, and I'll catch you all in the next one.